Hi folks, and welcome to an InkDependence.com brief video review. This time we have Franklin-Christoph's Model 27. This is also called the Collegia because it comes in lots of college-y colors. This particular one is the UNC blue. I don't have any real ties with UNC, even though I live in North Carolina. I just like the blue. I think it was the one I liked best out of the group they had at the pen show I picked this up at, which was a Raleigh show, but man, I don't know, it was like 2 or 3 years ago. It was quite a while back. I don't see the blue one on their site anymore. They do have an orange and they have the radiant red, which doesn't have the silver cap. It's got a red lacquered cap instead, which is cool. But I think I might have to pick up that orange one. I did go to University of Tennessee for a while, so there you go. Anyway, this is a cool pen. I really like the look of this pen. It's pretty classy. You're not going to have anybody at your meetings or in your classroom go, "Oh, what's that horrible garish pen that person has there?" I don't know. It's not one of these. People go, "Ooh, that's a weird pen." I love cores. If you have a core, I might give it a home if you hate it. Anyhoozle, this is an all-metal body pen. I want to say it's mostly brass, but I don't know. I need to ask Scott Franklin about that. He and Jim are good dudes, and so I definitely endorse Franklin-Christoph whenever I get a chance. This has become probably my favorite pen. I'm kind of shocked at myself that I haven't actually reviewed it until now. I did get it a few years ago, and it's one that I use all the time for reviews. So if you want writing samples and that sort of thing with this pen, go and check out some of my ink reviews, because I do a lot of ink reviews with this pen, just because I like it so much. I also got several nibs for it. These are number 5 size nibs. Here's a better look at that nib. Get a little bit of light on the subject. Yeah, it looks okay. This is a smaller nib, so it's going to be smaller than a number 6 nib, which is what you'll find on things like this Delta Unica, for example. You can see a much bigger nib. A lot more nib there, but basically the same size pen. So if you like the Unica, it's about the same size as that one. It's also about the same size, probably exactly the same size as a, well, once I put the cap on it, it'll be the same size as this TWSBI. This is a 540, I think. Pretty sure it's a 540. It's one of those 5 pens. Okay, so there you go. It's exactly the same size as that pen. So if you like that pen, you'll probably like this one. This does come up a bit shorter once you uncap it. You can post this pen. I don't really recommend it. I've got pretty large hands, but even for me, it's a bit back heavy when it's posted. There's a lot of weight here in the back end of this cap, which, as you can see, has a little bit of Franklin-Christoph branding on there, just a little bit, not too much. I'm into that. It's got the 4 diamonds down the clip. It's also got a Franklin-Christoph around this lower band down here. So, aside from that, really no branding. Although this is a pretty unique looking pen. Pretty unique. Ugh. It is a unique looking pen. There's not degrees of uniqueness. I haven't found any others that look like this, so if you have one of these, and other pen people are going to know what you got. So that doesn't really need the branding, which is fine with me. So I don't write with it posted most of the time. I write with it unposted, and it fits perfectly well down the web of my hand here, just kind of how you'd want to have it fit. There's more weight here and here than there is in the barrel. The barrel is actually fairly light, although it's also made of metal. This is a pen that comes apart very easily. So there's one part, and here's the little end cap comes off. You can see through there. The only place that I've really got any wear on this pen is, let's see if I can focus on this here. No, maybe I can zoom in and then focus. Come on, iPhone. There we go. You can see a little bit of wear on the threads, where it comes, the metal is showing through the paint just a little bit. But, whatever. That's on the inside of your pen. You're not going to really see that. So, not a problem for me or anybody I know, I don't think. I've already taken this apart a couple of times. I did a video earlier and I uploaded it to YouTube and everything, and it turns out it was sideways, darn it, so I'm going to have to make another one. And that's what you're watching now. Now, these all come with nib units, just like lots of the other fancier pens on the market. You'll see they have nib units. And so you can buy extra nibs for these. They come with feed and everything. It's in this little collar-y type deal right here. So if you don't want to use, say, this broad cursive italic, I don't know why you wouldn't, but if you don't, then you can just pop it out, pop in a, I don't know, needle point or something of that nature. They have all manner of nibs over there at Franklin-Christoph. There you go, there's a little bit of ink on the fingers. Prove that I'm a fountain penner. I have all kinds of nibs over there. They have regular old high-performance steel nibs, is what they call them, which are just steel nibs. They work pretty well. But they also have nibs that are made by, or not made, but adjusted and ground by Nibmeister Mike Masuyama, who is fantastic. You might know him as Mike at work. He's a good dude, and he's a very, very good nib grinder. So, for the low price of like 15 bucks, you can upgrade from a regular steel nib to a Masuyama nib in steel. I think think the jump is the same in gold, actually, but it's another 80 bucks on top of that for gold. So anyway, it's a great nib. I love this one. It's one that I don't mind handing to people to show them what a fountain pen can be like, because it's a good, solid quality pen, and the nib always works. So great stuff. You can see when you take the back piece off of here, you can access the converter if you need to prime your nib, or push some ink through there. I've got Levenger pomegranate in this one right now. That's what's on my fingers at the moment, which is a great ink, but it's got a lot of sheen and it does tend to get a little bit cloggy. Yeah, let's get it going. There we go. I've had the, let's see if I can zoom in here a little bit. Sorry, I'm not used to using this tripod, so this is the first tripod video, really. As you can see, it has quite a lot of line variation going north, south, and east, west, because it is a cursive italic. It's the broad cursive italic. I think it's something like a 0.9 or so, something like that. So it's not a huge cursive italic. It's quite nice, and it's one of my favorite nibs. I've also got a one of their number 6 size nibs, and that's a broad stub. Quite good as well, but the cursive italic and the broad stub, very good. I use this all the time. It's the pen that I throw in my pocket the most. You might say it's my favorite pen. It's definitely up there for sure. Because like, I've thrown this in my pocket for 3 years running, just in my backpack, in my pocket, wherever it happens to go, and yeah, no problem. Still looks great. There's a little bit of a few scratches up here on the very top bit, but really the paint is good. There's I think I found one tiny little ding somewhere along the top here. I think it's like right there. You're not going to be able to see it, but anywho, it's there. It's just very, very small. I feel like it's powder coated or something. It's great. I have to ask Scott about that as well. All right, a couple of quibbles about this pen, and they have to do with the section. You can see that this has a nice concavity to it. If I hold it up here against this, this white paper, it's got a bit of a concavity to this section. A lot of people don't like metal sections because they feel like they're going to be slippery. We can get a little bit more light. Yeah, the sun's gone down. So, but this one has got a nice concavity, and so it doesn't slip. It fits your fingers quite nicely. My problem is that I have pretty big fingers and big hands, and so I have to pinch more than I would like to, maybe. But that's a very small quibble. It's not that big a deal. And if you have smaller hands than I do, which is probably going to be most people, you're not going to experience that at all. The other thing also has to do with the section, and that's how many threads. Oh, sorry, that's how many threads there are here. And you can see there are quite a few. It takes several turns to remove and replace the cap, which is more than I'd like to have. But that's only a problem if you're one of these people that's chronically taking off the cap and replacing the cap on your pens. My wife has a little bit of a problem with that. She'll take a, do a quick note, and then she'll need to put her pen away and do some other sciencey things or something, and then take more notes and that sort of thing. And so it annoys her to have to unscrew the cap all the time. But with the nibs on these, generally you can just, leave the cap off and you'll be fine. It'll be ready to go. The feeds on Franklin-Christoph pens, I think, are pretty special as well. I've never had a problem with any of these nibs. So anyway, there's that. The cap itself, pretty classy. It's got the these sort of ribs ground into it, but it also has a really nice clip. It's a great clip. A good clip on a pen is kind of underrated. There are a few clips that really stand out to me. This Delta Unica, this is the Anderson Pen Special Edition, has this nice roller ball on there that rolls against whatever you clip it to, but it's just kind of a piece of springy metal. On the Franklin-Christoph here, you can see that if I push down on the back, it springs up a little bit. There's actually hinging and springing going on in here, and a nice sweep here as well. So you can put it over jeans pockets or plackets or whatever you happen to be carrying your pen on, and it's got a lot of twists, so it's not going to just randomly fall off, which is nice. It's a good feature. That's a good thing about all those twists. But this clip, very, very good. One of my favorite clips. All right, so that's the Franklin-Christoph Model 27. You can only really find these through their website unless you go to Origami Inc. in Asheville, North Carolina. They've got a few of these, and probably, I don't know, maybe there are other stores. I've never really seen them. They do most of it just direct. So go to the Franklin-Christoph website. It's franklin-christoph.com. Not hard to remember. Also, there will be a link on the webpage on my blog. So you can go and check it out there. That's www.inkdependence.com. So there you go. These run $69.50 for the regular 27, and then another 15 bucks, so $84.50 if you want the fancy Mike Masuyama nib. I really urge you to go ahead and get the Mike Masuyama nib. You're not going to be unhappy that you did. It's going to be great. They come in everything from needlepoint up to well, big stubs and that sort of thing. So definitely, definitely pony up the extra 15 bucks. you're not going to get a grind like that unless you pay like $40 at a fountain pen show or something to get it done. So you're getting a $40 nib work job for $15. And it's going to be out of the box. It's going to be great. All of these nibs and such are individually inspected by one of the Franklin-Christoph team, and it's a small team. So you'll get a little card that says inspected by so-and-so. If you ever have problems with these things, Scott and Jen are great about fixing it up for you. They'll take care of you. Although I've had this pen for a long time and I've never had a single problem with it. Always great. All right, so that's been my very positive review of this 27. This is one of my very favorite pens. It's one that goes with me everywhere. If you see me, I'll probably have it on me. So anyway, there you go. And peace out, y'all. If you want to contribute to the Ink Dependence cause, please do go to patreon.com/inkdependence to find out how you can help. And oh, hey, packaging. I never do packaging very much, but this one comes with this like little maroon leather pouch. It's got a very nice soft interior. It's not going to harm your pen. You just throw it in there like that. I have seen on the website now that they send these instead of boxes. You'll get a white box, which I don't have handy here. But you can actually ask them for the clamshell type box if you want one. But this is actually a really nice little pen holder. You can throw a couple of pens in there. I've got a vanishing point, throw that in there with it, it's not going to hurt anything. And voila, 2 pens. So there you go. That's been the 27, that's its packaging. I'm Mike, this is Ink Dependence. Peace out, y'all.